Is this Pico Week? Are we doing Pico Week? It feels like we might be doing Pico Week. Welcome to High Stakes. High Stakes is this weird RNG card game where there's a vampire card, he looks like that, and you have to kind of identify which card is the vampire card. You have certain things to help you, like the greater than symbol and the plus symbol, which allows you to identify, okay, I'm going to put the greater than symbol on the 5, and it's going to tell me which cards are smaller than 5 and which cards are bigger than 5. Um, that's basically what it comes down to. I just played a 50-50 there. There was no way to tell which one was the vampire. The plus will tell you the minimum number that it is. So like this is a 7 plus, so it's 7, 8, 9, or vampire. It's not 8 or 9 because 8 or 9 are here. So it's a 7 or it's a vampire. The vampire card is like a 13. It's just the highest value basically. And if you flip it over, you lose. And you have to basically not lose. Is your goal. So you have this blood, and you need to get to 5,000 to beat the game, and you can play against these harder or like better payout vampires by getting to a certain amount of blood, basically. And this game is very fun casually and extremely frustrating as a speedrun. I've never speedrun this game specifically because it's very random, and so we know it's one of these two. This is just a 50-50. There's no way to tell. It's either 9 or the vampire. There's no way to tell, so I would just pass there. You have to play the 50-50s in the speedrun though, because or like at least early on you have to, because otherwise there's just no way to tell. But we're not going to do that because I actually want to try beating the game. I've never beat it before because I've tried speed. Well, that was a misclick. Yeah. I've tried beating it, but the game is just very. Or I've tried speedrunning it. Sorry, but the game's just very frustrating to play in that way. But anyway, seeing as though it's Pico Week, and I did say in the Astra video that I wanted to. Oh, I'm just getting really unlucky here. I said in the Astra video that I wanted to talk about Stranded Isle and what it means to me, so I thought we could spend this video talking a bit about that Stranded Isle upload that I made. It has no commentary because I just uploaded it and then went out. But I mean, I might as well reset here because you start with more than 13, so I might as well just reset. Jeez, I'm just getting really unlucky here. Basically, Stranded Isle is a resource gathering speed game. I mean, that's a 50-50, I guess. Pass. Stranded Isle is a resource gathering. I guess it's not intended to be a speed game, but that's definitely like its main identity at this point. It's like the second most popular Pico 8 speed game. Celeste being the most popular, which is a crazy achievement by the Stranded Isle speedrunning community. But the thing that's really distinct about it, like people compare it to like 2D Minecraft. The thing that's really distinct about it is like in Minecraft your seed is random and like enemy drops are random. In Stranded Isle, just everything is random. Zombie spawns are random, drops are random. Zombies have a chance to drop between 0 and 2 of each resource that they give you, and that's just a whole like RNG thing. And everything you break has a chance to drop between 2 and 4 of its respective drops. So you can already see just how bad the RNG gets at high level play. And the crazy thing about that run, the crazy thing that you wouldn't understand if you didn't play SI, is that in that run that I uploaded on the Sunday, I I got a sub 5. I got a PB 446. Well, 447 after retime, but 447 with 4 gem ore. So the thing is, you need 10 gems to craft the chem lab, which is one of the one of the items you need to beat the game. And if you get average odds, you'll always get 9. Like, average odds is you get 9 gems. Which means it means you need to mine 3 gem ore to get the gems. And I got 4, which is average luck. It's not good luck. And that means that I basically just lose 12 seconds. You basically lose like 12 seconds mining that gem ore. And also the cave was not very good, and it's just like, it's a really lucky run. The sand that I got in there was a 1% chance. The iron was really good. The stone was pretty decent. Like, it is a really lucky run. Every SI run is, like, every PB is bound to be a really lucky one. But it is just, like, absurd. It is just absurd, like, that I managed to PB and also do it with such bad luck. That I lost 12 seconds. Like, you can imagine if I didn't have that problem, if I didn't lose those 12 seconds, that run would have been like I think that run would have been like top 12 on the, I mean, it's top 12, like it's a top 4 run on the leaderboard, but it would have been a top 12 run ever. Most of the best runs are done by Ellie, because she's just like goated at the game. If you look at the leaderboard, she's like 4 minutes 20 seconds, which is like 20 seconds ahead of second place. Absolutely ridiculous statistic. Ellie's really good at the game. But yeah, like most sub 5s are done by her. She's done 100 sub 5s, which is a lot more than second place. I think Armin has like 30 or something, which is still really good, by the way. Like, it's hard to sub 5 once. I mean, it was a huge thing in the community for a very long time that like sub 5ing was like the ultimate achievement. And so it's funny to look at the world record is 40 seconds ahead of that, but sub 5ing is still very hard. It's not something that an average player can do on any given day. You need to really put your heart into it, and I think that's one of the things that is so amazing about Stranded Isle. Is it's not just about executing correctly every time. You do need to execute correctly every time, and there is a lot of skill that goes into playing SI that I think is underappreciated by a lot of people. It was definitely underappreciated by me. When I first got into the game in 2020, I quickly started to dislike the game because the RNG is frustrating, and maybe it's not that fun at first, but over time I started to appreciate the game more and more for its qualities, that it really incentivizes you to I saw that was a vampire and then just clicked on it. It's like hard to talk and focus on this number game at the same time. Over time I began to see that, like, actually this game has a lot of like hidden complexity, and it wants you, like, the game wants you to become better at it. Like, the only way to become a sub 5er, the only way to sub 5 is to become more consistent as a player. And you want to give yourself every opportunity. You don't want to just wait for the RNG to arrive that's really like goated. You want to be able to play those situations that have worse RNG, but you're still able to make the best out of them because you're so adaptable. And I think that's like the main thing that got me into playing SI again, was that I was watching people play the game. I was watching the speedruns. Okay, that's so unfair. I did a double or nothing. I did a double or nothing, and the first card I flipped over was the vampire. I was watching these speedruns and stuff, and I was thinking, like, wow, I could not have played the seed like that. Clearly there's more to this game than luck. And there is more to the game than luck. There's genuinely a lot that goes into being good at SI. It's a really, Like it's a mental exercise because you need to keep track of your objectives. There's a lot of different resources you need to gather to beat the game by crafting the boat. So you've got to keep a mental list of your objectives. And there's a lot of, I mean, there were two different runs that I sub-fived where people watched the run and they were like, I would have forgotten. They were like, I would have forgotten that I needed to do sand still, or that I needed to do wood still. So like it is important that you're keeping that mental list and you're keeping yourself in check while you play the game. It is a mental exercise. I mean, it's almost like computing science adjacent in the fact that the way you play the game is kind of algorithmic. You develop over time a mental algorithm of like, okay, I see these objectives are needing done. I need to take these actions, etc., etc. There is a decent chunk to the game. It's actually more complex than at first thought. I've really stuck. This is godly luck, or maybe it's shit luck. It's shit luck. It's I've definitely started to see the beauty in the game with time, and the more I play it, the more I feel like I'm going to be playing it for a very long time. I always said that like if I sub 5, I don't know if I'll keep playing any percent, because getting to the point of sub 5ing took a long time. I started playing the game in 2020, November 2020, and I sub 5 in November 2022. It was a lot. It was a whole journey, and it took a lot out of me to keep playing the game after what felt like just being like shit on by the game repeatedly. Because the thing is, and I've talked about this before, is like you get into this mentality where you kind of like, or I mean, I did at least. I shouldn't speak for other people, but I mean, I got into this mentality where I was kind of like personifying the game. The game doesn't like me. The game is giving me bad RNG because the game doesn't like me. And that is... It is not a good mentality to get into. Like, it doesn't help you when you're trying to PB and you start blaming the game instead of your own skill. Because I had several opportunities. I had several opportunities to PB that were, you know, my own skill was the problem. And even if you watch that run that I posted, there are issues with. I mean, my menuing's at the end menu is not that fast. I'm a controller player, and menuing fast on a controller is pretty hard for the game. So like there are issues with the run. There are places where I could get better, but I got into this mentality where it was like, yeah, the game's the problem. I'm the GOAT. And if you look at that sub 5 that I did get, I mean that doesn't help me. If you look at that sub 5 that I did get, the first one, it is one of the speedruns that I'm the most proud of. Mostly just because I stuck with it long enough to get it. I had been in the community for 2 years at that point, and there was this whole culture around sub-5ing, and we had this friend group where I was the last one who hadn't done it, and that was a huge motivator where it was like, okay, all of these people have stuck through with the game. They really want me to sub 5. They're like giving me advice on stuff, on how to improve. I don't want to let them down. I'm really glad I stuck with it long enough to... I'm really glad I stuck with the game long enough to get to that point. Because now it's 2024... which is crazy, by the way, 2024. Now it's 2024, and I'm still playing the game, and I'm still PBing, and I'm still sub-5ing. I've done 5 sub-5s total. I've done 4 this year, and last year, I didn't even think it was possible for me to sub-5 again. I played the game a lot last year, without sub-5ing a single time, and I just thought, you know, maybe I'm washed, maybe I can't do it anymore. And internally I kind of knew that was wrong, but at the same time, it was taking so long for me to get to the point where I could sub 5. And I wasn't playing consistently. That's another thing, is like playing consistently in SI is really valuable because it means that you get to maintain that skill and that mentality about the game for longer. Derusting in SI can take quite a while just because the game is very specific about what it wants from you. And so, because I was not playing the game consistently, of course I didn't sub 5, and I have a lot of things to owe to this recent like wave of PBs. First of all, is the wall. If you watch the video, you'll see that I had eight Stranded Isles open at once, and I was going through all of them really quickly. That's something that Ellie made. It's really good for resetting very, very quickly, and finding a seed that you want to play. But it only helps you with that. It only helps you with finding a seed that looks like it might be decent. You can't see all of the map at once, and so when it comes to playing the run, like it doesn't help that much. It just helps you get more runs started, which is also good for mental, right? Because you're not constantly resetting, which is what I was doing before that point. Resetting took a lot longer as well, because we modded the game so that resets are faster as well. So I don't know. There's the thing with SI is, if you're a speedrunner, I recommend that you play it. You might not be into that kind of game. You might not be into resource gatherers, but play SI, give it a chance. There's a lot of resources if you want to get better at the game. Everyone in the community is very eager to share their thoughts on your runs. We're very eager to help you improve and learn about the game. And most importantly, like, the resources are there. If you want to practice the game, we have end menu practice mod, and we have fast resets and stuff, and we have all these cool categories that you can play. Like, there's so much of a variety of things to do with this game. We've got the TAS. The TAS is really cool. Go watch the Stranded Isle TAS by Rhythm. It's like 2 minutes and 2 seconds, but like RTA time, it's even faster than that. So it's like, you should definitely watch that TAS. SI is just amazing. I really love it. I really love the opportunities that it's given me. I started playing SI in 2020, and I started speedrunning in 2020. My first proper speed game was Tokobot Plus, or maybe it was KO the Kangaroo. I don't remember. I played one of those pretty early on into the year, and then I sort of got into speedrunning from there. But I think it's the community that we built around Stranded Isle that kept me playing speed games for longer. And I mean, it's just, I mean, as far as speedrunning is concerned, it's been an amazing and huge part of my life. I got to do the Ben 10 Power Trip marathon run, which I will absolutely talk about when we play Ben 10 Power Trip, because it's one of my favorite things that I've ever done ever. It was so fun. Really? Okay, that was just unlucky. Hopefully we don't lose here. I don't want to start the whole game again. But yeah, I'm just gushing about SI at this point, but it's really fun. It really challenges you to, like, think more about the game and implement things. Like, there was a long time where wow, really? Okay. There was a long time where I was not implementing things that I knew were objectively good, just because I was stubborn, just because I wanted to sub 5 my way, and don't do that. Like, if you know that something is objectively good, like leaving the bench, like doing Araman tools, And you know, this means nothing to you if you don't play Stranded Isle, but trust me, all of these things are important. You'll have so much more fun with the game when you actually play it correctly. Like, it's one of those games where it just gets more fun the better you are at it, rather than like a lot of high level speed games eventually devolve into cringe because their like high level strategies are really fast but really hard, really fast but really inconsistent, really fast but RNG dependent. SI is always RNG dependent at every level, so it doesn't really get frustrating, other than Jamoran zombies can be pretty frustrating sometimes. But yeah, I mean, the game is just, I mean, it's something special. There are not a lot of speed games like it. I mean, honestly, there's no speed game like it. If I had to like be honest, I think it is like a one in. I mean, it's the lone Stranded Isle. There's no game quite like it except Dcraft. Dcraft. I'll tell that story at some point as well. I might as well tell it now. There's this game called De Facto, and I submitted it to speedrun.com, and the moderators for speedrun.com were like, actually, we're not accepting endless games with arbitrary goals. And I thought that was kind of weird, because it's not an endless game. I mean, it is an endless game, but it's not an arbitrary goal. The point of the game is to build a rocket, so calling that an arbitrary goal feels kind of like disingenuous. And listen, a lot of the time, the trouble that you get here is that they have to review a lot of submissions. They don't fully know about the games, right? They're not the most familiar with the games. So they look at it, they're like, that looks like a cookie clicker. That looks like an endless game. We don't accept those. And so what I could have done is appealed and been like, hey, actually the point of the game is to build a rocket. I'm pretty sure I did actually, and they still rejected me. I don't really remember, it's been a while. So I just made a mod of Stranded Isle called Dcraft, submitted that, and they accepted it because, I mean, of course they did. And then I put the de facto leaderboards there. It's very funny and it's very silly. But yeah, Dcraft is just a mod of SI that I used to get de facto on speedrun.com, which I think is pretty funny. Okay, we need 200 for that. But yeah, SI, I mean, you're not going to see more of it on this channel because I can only play the game once, but there will most likely be a lot more of SI on main channel. It's become a standard, like, I'm putting this game on just to sort of play for a while, and yeah, it's become like a point of kind of, I guess, comfort for me. Like, the game is just, it's just the game I play when I you know, just want to like do nothing for a bit. I really like it. I want to beat Arman. He recently got second place on the leaderboards with a 3-minute, nope, not 3-minute, that would be really fast, 4-minute 40-second time. So 7 seconds ahead of me. And I'm just thinking, like, man, I got 4 Jamord. If I got 3 Jamor, I already would have beat him, right? I already would have been ahead of him. I would have got a 430x. Am I really going to let my last PB be a 4 Jamor? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing this game until I get a 430x. But as is the thing with Stranded Isle, every time I get to that goal and I'm like, maybe I'm satisfied now, it turns out I'm actually not, and I want to keep playing the game. Obviously, by the fact that I still play it today, I've never gotten to that point where I feel like I'm okay with the game and I don't want to play it anymore. And I'm kind of looking at it realistically now. I don't think I'm going to get to that point anytime soon. And like I have put all of my attention towards any%, so there's every opportunity for me to play Dream% or to play Full Gem and stuff like that. There's so many categories that genuinely could get quite a lot of attention. Not all of the categories are stupid, and I could spend some time on those. I just think SI is a game that's going to stick with me for a very, very long time. I'm really thankful that Nusan made it. I'm really thankful for the community that has sprouted from it. I think it's amazing. Join the Nusan speedrunning club, N2SC. It's community, not club. But join the Nusan speedrunning community. Link in the description if I remember. But yeah, come on, play some Nusan games. Stranded Isle's really cool. I'm gonna play more Nusan games on the channel. I'm gonna play Cyclo 8. I'm gonna play I'm definitely gonna play what's it called? Fragments of Euclid, because that game is really cool. I haven't played it in ages. Basically, Nusan makes a bunch of really, really cool little indie games. Most of them Pico 8 games, but not all of them. Not all of them are Pico 8 games. But yeah, if you're into speedrunning at all, come by the N2SC. Please play Stranded Isle. It's just such a good game. They made the most fun game ever, except it's not. SI breaks you down and forces you to face the fact that you're not good enough. It's not just like... That's the crazy part about SIs. It's like a mirror into oneself, right? Like it really pushes you. If you care, you have to care enough to get to the point where you want to sub 5. But if you do get to that point, then the game really pushes you. And it's not just about sub 5ing. It's about I think there is beauty. There is beauty in getting to that ultimate achievement that the entire community has built up so much, right? We've built up this achievement, like sub 5 is the ultimate goal of a Stranded Isle speedrunner. If you've got there, you've made it, right? Sub 5ing is the goal. I think there's something to be said, and there's something really beautiful about the fact that when people get there, they don't stop playing, right? Like the game is that good and it's that important and it has that kind of allure and appeal that you can get your ultimate goal and you're satisfied with it, and yet you're still playing. You're still playing the game. I think that's a sign of something special. There is something like addictive about Stranded Isle, and I don't think, I mean, you could boil it down to the fact that, oh, it's an RNG game, it's similar to gambling, and I don't think you would be wrong there. 80% of Stranded Isle players quit before they're about to hit it big, right? Before they're about to sub 5. Like, there is an angle to look at it like that. I really don't think that's correct, though. I really do think that Stranded Isle gets by on its own merits, and it's not any like RNG bullshit gambling that makes it the best game ever. Like it gets by on its own merits. I will deny any comparisons to gacha. Stranded Isle is not gacha. I don't know. I think the game is much bigger than that and much more important than that, but that's just me. But yeah, let's see if we can beat this game. To get back on topic, let's see if we can actually beat this game. We're doing pretty well here. I've got a little bit of a buffer here, so if I do lose, hopefully I don't have to reset fully. I mean, that's a bad start. That's a bad start, getting a vampire. Oh, that's a worse start. Okay. I mean, I already knew it was 5+. I'll just pass, I guess. That gets me, like, what am I supposed to do there? You give me no information, and the first card I flip over is a vampire? So frustrating when the game does that. Okay, we lose 200 milliliters, that's fine. We had 300, so we don't have to reset. But hopefully it goes better this time. This is really light. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's big. Also, if you find the vampire card early, you get more points for finding it when less cards are flipped over, so it's really good to try and do that. I'm just gonna pass. I want to play it really safe here because we have the potential to actually beat the game here, and I have never done that, so... It's not because it's hard. The game is tricky, but it's not, like, hard to beat. If you play it really safe, then you're bound to get it, but still, it would be fun to get that for the first time. Wow! Wow, it was 1 in 4 and I still got it. That's absurdly frustrating. I've been getting pretty good luck on these rounds, to be fair, with the vampire cards being identified early on. Let's just do a 50-50. It's not a 50-50. I mean, it is. That had to be a 9 or a vampire, so I guess it's kind of a... This has to be a 9 or a vampire. And that time it worked. Gamble every time. It always pays off. Alright, I'm passing on that. I'll take my my winnings. We're over halfway there. We just need 1,400 more. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you think this game looks fun, Google high stakes itch.io and you'll find it. I wish I had better advice. I could have solved that one if I was paying more attention. Whatever. Passing is not that bad, but it would have been nice to have a bit extra. Okay. Oh. That doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, just Google high stakes itch.io, you'll find it. I wish I could remember the name of the developer. I think it's on the title screen, so I'll show you after this. But yeah, okay, 600 more milliliters. It's going well. I remember playing this game during my maths classes in first year of university because I was just really frustrated by the fact that I could never like get a good speedrun going, because to get a really good pace you need to get absurdly lucky. Like, the game is heavy on the luck, and not in a fun way where you can like react to it. Like, sometimes you just lose, and there's nothing you can do about it, which makes for a fun casual game and an absurdly frustrating. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna play like this vampire. We only need 30 more. I would really rather do it in the place where I can't lose that much. Wow, okay. I mean, I'm just getting my ass handed to me here. What the... I'm gonna take the 50-50. It's you. It wasn't. Oh my god. Am I gonna lose all of them? I should have just stuck with the other guy. Oh, it's a 50-50. Let's not play it. There we go. We didn't lose all of them, at least. I mean, that does not make up for my losses, though. Okay, I mean, let's play this one. That I'm sure will go well. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, nice. Nice. Okay, okay. I think if we just pass from now on, I still win, but we'll play it out. I want to be honorable about it. And that one is very much solvable, thankfully. The other thing that's really frustrating is when you're trying to go fast and you make like misinputs, like you know which one is the right one, but you still press the wrong one. That is really frustrating. And I'm just gonna pass on this because we've won. We beat high stakes. There we go. We beat the vampires game. That's really loud. Anyway, let's see who made this game so I can So I can say, oh, it doesn't say. It's Krystman. Krystman. See y'all later.